From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Furniture and Mattress 86 is stocked with mattresses. Mattresses starting at $149. Try our 120-night trial. Mattresses come with a 20-year warranty. Up to 72 months, 0 interest. Free local delivery and pickup. Furniture and Mattress 86 on Merchant Avenue across from the post office in Reading. If you find it for less, you should buy it.
Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Let's take a look at that weather headlines, what we'll be talking about here during especially our deeper dive forecast and what's coming up here. Bigger summer heat, it's arrived. You're going to notice it, you probably noticed it today, you're going to notice it even more so by tomorrow. In fact, parts of the valley could touch 110 degrees for the first time this year. Not only today, but maybe even Saturday. Excuse me, not only tomorrow, but possibly even Saturday as well. Now, this may also be one of the longest stretches we'll see of 100+ degree temperatures that we've seen so far for the year, but bottom line, we do expect toward the middle and latter part of next week, a dip in our temperatures. But we'll get into all of that a little bit later. Here is a look at our Krueger's Quickcast. Just a quick look at the forecast for those of you that are in a bit of a hurry. Just a quick look. Temperatures pretty mild this tomorrow morning, late tonight, tomorrow morning. Should be somewhere in the low 70s for the valley. Mainly 50s, though, for the higher elevations and for the coast. So tomorrow morning, again, pretty mild to start off the day. We're already into the 80s for the valley. Now, it's going to be a bit smoky in some areas as well tomorrow morning, by the way, so just be aware of that. The air quality will be a lot like it was this morning, than, of course, for tomorrow morning, about the same. Temperatures in the 60s for many of the higher elevations, even the East Mountains, looking at temperatures around 71 by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Big, broad ridge of high pressure. I mean, you can clearly see those clouds moving up and over the ridge, mainly those open, clear skies over the ocean waters there. That's the high pressure that's building in, and that's the heat as well. So let's take a look at Futurecast. There's going to be some fog along the coast here tonight, but mainly for central Humboldt County. So, you know, Humboldt Bay working its way downward into Highway 101, closer to just north of Garberville. That will try to burn off here for tomorrow afternoon, and I think we'll see some sun breaks in those clouds here, even for Humboldt Bay, but more sunshine for, say, Del Norte County and southern Humboldt County as well, and some afternoon clouds possibly developing for some of the higher elevations tomorrow afternoon. I want to show you the winds because the winds are not going to be that big of a deal. Yes, a little breezy, gusty for Friday morning, but those winds should subside by Friday afternoon. However, if you take note, you see those gusty winds working their way into central Siskiyou County. That could elevate that fire weather risk there here for tomorrow afternoon. So it's going to be hotter tomorrow. I mean, we are going to possibly touch 110 degrees for some of the warmer spots. So about 105 to 110 in the valley. Temperatures, 90s, even some triple digits for your daytime highs there, including inland. And then mid-60s for your daytime highs on the coast. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures staying above 100 degrees for Reading at least through Wednesday. Then after that, temperatures will start to drop. We're down to the upper 90s by the middle and latter part of next week for the valley. That's that drop in the temperatures I was talking about. Mid-60s, give or take, for the mountains. Also seeing that dip in the temperatures for the inland areas in Trinity County, and that's also the case for Siskiyou, Modoc County, and the eastern mountains. So it's really going to warm up here, really starting today through at least Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and then we do start to see those temperatures drop a bit going toward the end of next week. All right, that's a look at Krueger's Quickcast. Let's get you right to it and take a look at our deeper dive forecast. But before we do that, there is a 24-hour streaming channel I want you to go check out. Roku, you got it. Got you covered. Fire Stick got you covered. Just search for the Weather NorCal app in those devices. In the meantime, if you don't have either of those devices or you just want to use YouTube, you can do that. I've got the YouTube channel. Weather NorCal is the name of the YouTube channel. And while you're there, get a subscribe while you're at it. You can watch the 24-hour streaming channel anywhere YouTube is available, including your smart TV. And also from that YouTube app, you can watch the latest video forecast like the one you're watching now. All right, let's take a look at your fire weather forecast, sponsored by Garmin's Tractor Service. You've got the winds as mentioned. Now, I show you the winds. This is something I've been talking about today. When we see big wind events, 30, 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts, and if a fire breaks out, you can almost guarantee that that fire is going to spread very rapidly and turn into a very dangerous situation quickly. That is honestly what can make or break a fire season. Yes, we typically see a lot of fires this time of the year, but at least the firefighters can get a better handle on them when we don't have really strong winds, right? So the key that we can take out of the next few days is no major wind events. Typical gusty winds at times, upwards of 20, 25 miles per hour in parts of Northern California, but not all that bad. But we are looking at elevated fire weather risk here for the next few days. Pretty typical to be in the orange colors, which, as you know, is that high category. These are humidity levels. You see just how dry it's going to be. So bottom line, it's going to be hot and it's going to be dry. And that's going to keep our fire danger elevated over the next several days. It's the winds that aren't going to be as bad as we could be looking at them. So the smoke, I think we're going to see another repeat tonight and into tomorrow morning with the hazy and smoky skies for the valley. I think we'll see some improvement here for even Trinity County later in the day on Friday. And then by Friday afternoon, Friday evening, we'll probably see another plume of smoke coming in from the Butler fire, moving south-southeastward, and could bring more smoke again here for your Friday night and Saturday morning, unfortunately. All right, so it just depends on which direction those winds are blowing will depend on where that smoke ends up blowing over. There you can see we've got that big ridge of high pressure. That's what's going to give us the heat. We've got two main areas of high pressure or heat right here and another one down to our south. By the way, pretty hot in Southern California as we go into the next several days as well. So these two are basically going to join forces, build up into Northern California. We see some big time heat coming in over the weekend, even into early next week. But check this out. As we take you into the middle of next week, we've got some cooler air well up to our north. That's not going to be moving in, but a piece of energy will break off from that, and we've got what we call troughing right here, a trough of low pressure. The key with that is it's going to push the biggest heat to our south and east over the desert southwest, and another area of big heat off to our west. In the meantime, we're stuck between the two. Don't get me wrong, it's still going to be hot, but by the end of next week, we're talking upper 90s to around 100, as opposed to 107, 108 to 110 that we're going to see here for the next few days. Okay, as we go into Friday into the weekend. See the dip in the temperatures? So we do drop possibly even below 100, which is actually below normal. And then we're back up to a little over 100 degrees here into that next weekend. So yeah, a nice little dip in our temperatures, but still hot any way you look at it, right? So the fog that we're seeing here develop tonight will mainly be around Eureka, Humboldt Bay, even out towards working its way into Highway 101 corridor there. That's tomorrow morning. That will start to kind of back off a little bit here. We'll see some afternoon clouds. Typically, we'd typically even see some thunderstorms develop out of that, but I don't think there's going to be enough moisture for that. There could be a stray sprinkle in parts of Lassen County as we go into Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, not a lot of fog, even for Eureka, and then it should burn off through a good portion of the day. We're seeing some thunderstorms popping up Saturday afternoon down to the south. There is some monsoon moisture that's going to be working its way northward into the Sierra. The question is, will it work at this far north to bring us enough instability for some thunderstorms? For now, it's fairly dry, but if you see a stray shower, maybe even a thunderstorm on Saturday, we'll have to watch for that. Wave heights, boy oh boy, are they increasing here this afternoon, and they're going to be increasing even more for your Friday. Let's take you into Saturday just for fun too. You can see it backs off a little bit here, but still fairly high wave heights over the next several days. As a result, small craft advisories. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. I mean, a lot of triple digits in there, but otherwise 90s elsewhere. 74 degrees out towards Blue Lakes, 69 degrees in Rio Dell, 93 in Alder Point, and 92 degrees in Garterville. 96 for Gas Key, 83 for Smith River. There's Orleans with a high of about 101, Hoopa 100, and Willow Creek about 102. It's getting warmer. I mean, even the mountains, you're talking temperatures in the triple digits. Now, for most of Siskiyou County, we should stay below 100 degrees here for your Friday, but it's going to be harder to do that by the time you get in the second half of the weekend and even early next week. 91 Canby, 90 for Aden, and look for a high of 92 degrees for California Pines, and Alturas about 93. Alturas, you could get up to 100 degrees Sunday and possibly even Monday, Tuesday of next week. 91 for Eagleville and Fort Bidwell about 91. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, it looks like Susanville up to 100 degrees by the weekend, and we keep it that way at least through Tuesday, if not even into Wednesday of next week. Your Valley neighborhood forecast to the south, those temperatures are going to be well over 100 degrees, and it looks like, the south end of the valley, around Chico, for example, you're dropping below 100 degrees by Wednesday, and even more so by the time you get into Thursday and even Friday of next week. So there is some relief in sight. Not so much relief, though, By tomorrow, we can see some of the hottest temperatures we've seen so far for the year tomorrow. For some of us, 110 degrees for the first time this year. Palisadro, 111, 104 out in Lakehead, and 105 degrees in Whiskeytown. Hey, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Redding. And temperatures, again, there's some of that relief. And it's hard to believe that 98 is relief, but it is. Instead of 110, how about 98? I think I know which one most of you would prefer. Well, that's going to do it for our evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.
Construction season is well underway in the Northstate, and we'd like to remind drivers to slow down around work zones. Keep Caltrans workers safe when they're on the job, and remember to be work zone alert when you see the color orange. Remember to pay attention to signs, merge early, avoid distractions, and don't speed. This message is brought to you by Caltrans District 2.